Hi, welcome back. So I'm going to be doing the last 2 weeks of my sales in December in my 5 shops. So in my Oso Victoria Etsy, my Cameron D. Well, I didn't have any sales in my Cameron D shop in the last 2 weeks of December. So nothing there to show. And in my Artfire, Penelope Rose Artfire shop, in my Oso Victoria Poshmark shop, and in my Oso Victoria eBay shop, although I did just sign up for a store and I changed the name to Oso Victoria, so it'll all blend together. So the brand would be Oso Victoria. Just make it easier there. So I had sales in the 4 shops. So let me give you the numbers. So I sold 15 items, and I had a gross sale of $300 and a net sale of $222.30, and my fees were $77.70, and my cost of goods were $41.91. I had two of these items were free, one sold in a bundle, and I will explain all that as I show you what sold. So let's get started. Okay, so the first item that sold in my Artfire shop was this vintage 1940s blouse with yoke ruffles. It's a Simplicity pattern 2483, and that sold December 18th. It sold for $8, and my profit on that was $6.48. I actually bought that at an estate sale back in April of 2011, and I listed it in January of 2014. Takes me forever. Patterns are quite another thing I have going on here, and I have paid 30 cents for it at an estate sale. The next item that sold on the 18th was this girl's gold puffer vest. It was Faded Glory, which I believe Faded Glory is Walmart brand, but I saw it at the Goodwill. I did buy it at the Goodwill for $2, but when I saw it, I just loved it, and I just thought a little girl would love it too. And if I could get it and find that little girl that's going to love this jacket, because I do believe they are not selling these anymore at Walmart, and so it'd be quite the find. And I didn't really expect that it would sell because it was a Faded Glory brand, but it did sell, and I sold it for $8. I sold it very cheap. My profit on that was $3.25. And the reason I picked it up because I wanted to make a little girl happy. So, and now this next item I sold on my eBay shop. It's a vintage 70-80 Hawaiian dress of cotton bark cloth type fabric. And it was a size 16, so it was larger. And I had picked this up at what they call, an emporium, one of those shops where they have all those little booths that people have their little antiques and clothing in each little individual booths in a store, in a resale store, I guess. So I paid up for that because sometimes you are and sometimes you're not. It just depends on what you can find and what people are putting in their little shops. So I did pay $14 from this, but I kind of figured Hawaiian dresses have a higher market value online anyway. So I sold it for $68. I paid $14 for it, and I sold it for $68. So my profit on this was $46.65. So yeah, I also sold that on the 18th of December. The next item that sold was also in my Artfire shop, and that sold on December 15th. So two patterns. So in my, like I said, Artfire Penelope Rose Artfire shop, One was a 1960s dress and coat Simplicity 3348 pattern. The other one was a retro pattern, so it was actually new. It wasn't old, but it was a retro pattern copy of an old pattern put out by Butterick, and it was 6173 was the pattern number, and it was from a 1952 wrap dress. So let's see, I sold both of them for $21, and my profit on those two was combined was $19.93. So the dress and coat, the original or authentic vintage pattern, sold for $15, and the retro pattern sold for $6. So I don't really have a cost of goods on those. No cost of goods. Okay. I sold another pattern in my Artfire shop. This is a Butterick 6234. It's a Busybodies children's pullover top and shorts. I sold that for $6, and it cost me an average of 25 cents. And that's what I'm averaging my patterns for that I have, unless I know exactly what I paid for them. And like I said before, I don't like to pay more than 25 cents for a pattern. And now if I do look for patterns, which I rarely do because I rarely go out shopping anymore for vintage, for anything, because I have so much stuff to list, I'll look to see, it has to be a very unusual vintage pattern, since I have hundreds and hundreds of them, so I kind of know what I kind of don't have. So, or factory, it doesn't have to be vintage if it's cheap enough pattern to buy like 25 cents, if it is factory folded in a really cute pattern. So those are kind of my criteria for looking for patterns. Anyway, my profit, I sold it for $6. My profit was $4.76. And on Poshmark, I sold this Gillian and O'Malley Intimates camisole top. This was a freebie. It was in the bin of stuff my son left in my living room, and I sold it for $8. So my profit on that was $3.25. So yeah, it's cute. And back to Artfire, I sold this vintage men's jacket and swim shorts pattern from Simplicity 7744, and I sold it for $10, and my profit on that was $8.42. So I sold this, my papers are out of order because it says I sold it on December 31st, and I listed it November 22nd, 2014. So it had been listed 5 years. Anyway, it sold. And these, I sold these shoes. Okay, I sold on eBay, and they're very pretty pink, very pretty pink, light pink shoes. So I sold these on eBay for $24, and I did buy them at the salvage yard. Oh, I guess you don't call it the salvage yard. You guys call it the bins. Okay, I did pick it up at the bins for $2 because that's what they were selling shoes for. Shoes were $2, and I picked it up in January 15th, 2010. That's back then, so that's 10 years ago is when I was going to the bins quite often and finding all kinds of cool vintage stuff, because that's all I was really looking for, vintage stuff or clothes for me or clothes for my family, but mainly vintage. So I did pick them up for $2, and they sold December 25th, 2019 for $24. And the thing about these shoes, I had them listed in my Bonanza store, which I did start back in 2010. In fact, I started my Artfire shop, my Etsy Oso Victoria shop, and my Bonanza shop. I started all those shops back in 2010. And these particular shoes I listed back then for $15. And then when I restarted my eBay store, I think I also put them in my Poshmark shop closet this past summer for I don't know what I maybe put them in there for $24 also. But when I restarted my eBay store, I just upped the price on what I had things I was selling for compared to what I have for sale in my Bonanza shop that I started 10 years ago. So there's a difference. So once I sell, I go back there and I delete the listing. And so my profit on these was $20.45. And this next item sold in my Poshmark closet, these Adidas women's joggers with the 3 stripes. They sold December 25th, and these, I bought them at a yard sale over at the coast for $1.40. And they sold for $24, and my profit on those was $17.40. It was an offer to liker, so I paid the $1.80 shipping also. Did a discounted shipping. Okay. And probably a discount on the price was an offer to liker, so I don't know what I originally had them for. I don't know. Okay, now this I sold on Etsy. These are the 1940s black velvet platform shoes that I had talked about in my last sales, what sold for the first 2 weeks of December. So these are the ones that got returned and then got resold once again to the lady that had just missed buying them the same day the other lady bought them, and then she returned them. Reached out, let her know they had been returned and she wanted them, and so she bought them. So these sold December 30th. So they sold for $72, and I did pick them up in an estate sale for $1.52. And so my profit on these is $54.72. All right, moving on. Gee. Okay, this is in my Poshmark closet. This is an Ariel Postoli wine lace favorite cami top. It sold for $10, and it was given to me. It was in the bin of stuff from my son, so it didn't cost me anything to have it, just the time it takes to clean it and list it, photograph it, and list it. So anyway, sold for $10. This was a bundle of 3 items. Sorry, so this was a bundle of 3 items. So this sold for $10, and my profit on this particular one piece was $6.60. And then this unique kimono, the birds and flowers. It was a beautiful kimono. It was really, really, really pretty. And I did pick that up at the Goodwill for $7.19, and it sold for $36. So my profit on that, I thought it had my total profit was $33.60 for these 3 items. So I had the cami, I had the kimono, and then I had this Piranha Off-White Dreaming soft tank top. And I actually had this stock photo. I think I have actually 2 stock photos I've used in all of my listings. I don't really care to use stock photos, but because the back was so unique in this tank top, the only thing that really did it justice was using a stock photo. And that's when I will use a stock photo. It's just like it really needs to show off something on it. Otherwise, I don't use stock photos. Anyway, it sold for $18, but it really didn't sell for $18 because it was in a bundle. So I actually sold the whole bundle. Well, the cost of goods was $19.19 for everything. For that Piranha top, I actually bought it at the Hospice boutique shop for $12. Because it was nice. Probably I would never do that again, but it was nice. And the kimono I paid $7.19, and the cami was free. Cost of good. Oh, the offer. Oh, she made me an offer of $42. So the cami was $10, the Prana was $18, and the Kimono was $36, but bundled it together. It all came down to less, and I gave her an offer for that, and then she may have countered offered $42, and I took the $42. So my profit on all three of those was $33.60 once you take out all the fees and the cost of goods, which still isn't so bad, except that kimono was really nice. Okay, the last thing that sold for the last 2 weeks of December and December 31st was once again in my Artfire shop was this Butterick loose fitting jacket pattern, Butterick 3698, and it sold for $5.50. So it was one of my older patterns because the shipping was $2 on that. And I picked that up at the Salvation Army once again February 4th, 2010, and I paid 50 cents for it. So it probably was a factory folded, meaning unused, uncut pattern. Sold it for $5.50. Okay, so that is all. That's all I sold in the last 2 weeks of December. And so my next video, I'm going to do a video on some of my vintage items, like this dress I picked up at that estate sale for $1.25. So pretty. So I'm going to do a video on some of the things I have sitting here ready to photograph, and we'll see you then. So you guys enjoy, subscribe, hit the like button, make me a comment, let me know, just let me know whatever you're thinking about clothing you like, vintage, what style vintage do you prefer, is there an era you like, or you just really like the more modern hip style. I don't even know if it's hip style. I don't even know what hip style is anymore. I don't know if it's the street style. I don't know the mall brands. I don't know. Just a cute girl walking down the street for all I know. Okay. So yeah, subscribe, hit the like button, make a comment. I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching. Okay, bye.